Today we will replace the factory speakers on this late 2012 MacBook Pro Model 10-2. On this computer, I only had a problem with the right speaker, but because I found such a good price on Amazon for the Padarsey pair, I went ahead and planned on replacing both of them. I will post a link in the video description below. For our tools, we will need a flathead screwdriver with electrical tape on the end, a P5 pentalobe bit, a T5 Torx bit, and not pictured, you will also need a T6 Torx bit or a 1.27 millimeter Allen head bit. Before you start, it is highly recommended to back up your existing hard drive. I used a 1 terabyte external HDD hard drive from OWC. I will post a link in the video description below. To begin, you want to take out all 10 P5 pentalobe screws from the bottom of the Mac. Note, the 2 P5 pentalobe screws in the center near the hinge are smaller than the rest of the 8 other screws around the edge of the Mac. You may now remove the bottom cover of the Mac by gently prying up near the hinge. You can set this cover to the side for the rest of the project. The first thing you want to do is remove the cover from the bottom of the battery contact board. Next, you will remove the 3 T6 Torx bits on the battery. If you do not have a T6 Torx bit, you may also use a 1.27 millimeter Allen head to remove these bolts. After you remove the first 3 T6 Torx bits, you may remove the plastic cover to expose the final T6 Torx bit holding the battery connector. Finally, you can remove the last T6 Torx bit to release the battery connector from the motherboard. You may bend the battery connector away from the motherboard so it's not connecting. Next, you remove the battery interposer with tweezers or a flathead screwdriver. You may set this aside out of the way. Next, we will pry the right and the left side of the I/O board data cable connector up off its socket on the I/O board. Now, you may remove the connector for the SSD from the motherboard. Next, you may remove the connector for the right speaker, located here. You can start removing the speaker by removing the 3 T5 Torx bits found in the corner of the speaker. Note, there could be foam covering the screw in the corner. If there is, you can pull this out with tweezers or by scraping it with your screwdriver. Install the new speaker by screwing down the 3 T5 Torx screws and reconnecting to the motherboard. Once all your screws are connected, now connect the SSD back to the motherboard. Once you're done with the right speaker, you may now move to the left speaker. First, you have to remove this connector here to be able to access the speaker connector on the motherboard. Pry them both up and pull them out of the way. This side also has 3 T5 Torx bits that you have to remove. Now, insert your new speaker. You may now begin to reconnect your battery. Next, you want to reinstall the battery cover. This may or may not need tape or glue to hold down if your computer is old. Lastly, you want to attach the bottom cover plate back to the computer. Once you get it aligned, you will gently press on the bottom until you hear it click into place. To finish, you want to install your 10 P5 pentalobe screws. You want your 2 shortest to be installed nearest to the hinge in the center. Once everything is put back together, you are now ready to flip over your Mac, turn it on, and try your new speakers.